welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something called birth photography. Now, I'm not very maternal myself, and most of my maternal instincts express themselves is if this guy is meowing outside. I'm not sure if he's just there in the shadow. If he's meowing outside and I can hear it upstairs, yeah, so that's as far as I go. I'm a cat mom. So I've never really considered birth photography before, nor I don't think it's very popular here in the United Kingdom as far as I know. And yeah, sure, it's being introduced to couples a bit more and more now than it used to, but I still think there's a long way for it to go to become sort of like a luxurious service, you know, the same way that wedding photography is. So a dear friend of mine, over a year ago now, she was pregnant with her first baby. She's a photographer herself, and I don't really remember at what point we got to the question of, will you photograph my birth? But somehow that's exactly where we ended up. I photographed her pregnancy photos in the summertime, and I have nothing but the nicest memories of that day. You know, it was the first time a close friend of mine was pregnant, and I just remember myself driving her to the park for our shoot, and I was just freaking out thinking, I've got this pregnant woman in my car, and this is such a big responsibility. So anyway, back to birth photography. Like I said, one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I received that morning a text message that said, we are going to the hospital. My emotions were a mix of excitement and joy, fear, anxiousness, and just everything in between. And you can sort of prepare your equipment and you can learn how to use a camera. But when you get in that delivery room, camera is the last thing in your mind, I can promise you that. So my friend had this really lovely corner room, and it also had a birth pool, which is where she had planned to deliver a baby. I arrived at the hospital around 8 o'clock in the morning because in my mind I thought, you know, she texted me around 6 a.m. and she's going to hospital, and I just can't waste any more time sitting around in the house. I need to be there because you never know what could happen and you never know when it could happen. So when I entered that delivery room for the first time, it was just pain and excitement all in one. I could see in my friend's face as she was going through yet another contraction. And the nurses, they were just the loveliest people I've ever met. They made sure I felt so welcome in the room, and they would always check on me to see if I'm okay, if I need anything, if I need to go get something to eat, and that's something I just didn't expect at all. So then I started shooting, and I would just document the reality of what's happening in the delivery room as we're waiting for this baby. And there was no posing, nothing was artificially set up. I was just documenting life as it happens. My mistake was not bringing a phone charger, first of all, and also a laptop or a book, secondly, because the day was so long. And I know it feels really inappropriate for me to even complain about this because my friend was going through all this pain and exhaustion just all day long. But it's just these little things that I wish I had prepared before I went on to photograph the birth. I would also spend plenty of time outside in the hallway just waiting, because my friend was having different tests done and things, so I did not want to interfere and sort of make her feel uncomfortable by me just hanging about all the time. And sometimes I would just go for a walk to stretch my legs. But at no point did I want to be so far away from the delivery room that I would risk missing an important moment. When that moment came and the delivery room opened and I was welcomed in, I can't tell you how I felt, because it's just something you can't really put into words. I'd never seen a birth before, so there's only so much you can prepare yourself for it. Like, you can find things on Google or whatever, but you know, it's not quite the same as seeing it in person in front of you. And I don't remember at what point this realization hit me, this realization that there's a new human being and you just come into this world, and I witnessed it with my own eyes, and I was one of the people this baby would have seen for the first time in his life. We didn't get the pool birth the baby's mum had wanted, but it didn't matter at this point. The blinds were closed and these really nice dim lights lit up on the ceiling, and it sort of looked like a cozy cave with stars in the sky, allowing the mum and the baby to go through this very natural process. I didn't really think about my camera settings or anything. I don't think I even thought about composition as such. I would just let this sort of technical knowledge sit there back on my head, and it guide me as I document this really incredible moment. And again, the medical staff are so understanding, and they allow me to be a part of this because they knew how important it is to the family. And funnily enough, this kind of makes me think of all those times priests have been rude and not very accommodating when someone's photographing a wedding in a church. So I was just very relieved that I was able to do this freely without feeling like I'm imposing or distracting the medical staff. It's a moment you can't really not feel anything about. Even the most closed off people who don't show their emotions in public, even they will feel something. And to me, it's important to feel, because how can you know what you're capturing or what you're looking for if you don't feel anything? And you don't even need to be maternal or anything to feel the joy and thrill go through you when, you know, the baby has finally arrived and he's safe and sound in his mother's arms. So when the baby was born, I spent a little bit of time capturing those early bonding moments between the parents and the newborn. So like this skin on skin and baby feeling what's it like when they're being cradled by the parents. And at this point, it was close to 6 in the evening, I think. And obviously, like I said, I've been here since 8 a.m. So I did start feeling ready to leave and allow parents, you know, to enjoy this moment all by themselves. I can't really remember how my partner drove us back home. I don't remember if and what I ate that evening. I don't even remember when I went to bed. I just remember feeling so exhausted physically and mentally. And it just been such an incredible journey, and I could not wait to start editing the pictures and to start creating this nice visual story for the baby's parents to look back at. Even now, after the baby has celebrated his first birthday several months ago, his mum would tell me how she revisits the gallery and how much it means to her. And, you know, in the process of doing all this, I didn't really think of it as something that has a high social value. To me, it was just me using my passion and skills to document something that's very important for my friend. But, you know, after a year and looking back, you start to realize just exactly what you did and how important it was. Look, I can confidently say this is not for everybody. It's very challenging, but I do know that other people really strive in these kinds of environments. And I believe you need to have the passion and you need to have empathy to document the birth. It's not exactly the same as doing a quick business shoot for a local cafe. Like, this is so much more. I did also write a brief book detailing my experiences and offering advice for those who are sort of considering this type of photography or just, you know, are curious. So I will leave a link in the description below if you'd like to take a look. At this point, I'm not sure if I want to seek out any other births to document. Maybe if somebody approaches me and it sort of happens very naturally as did this one, then yes. But other than that, I'm not really looking to make a name in this kind of business. But I do feel it's been an experience that's really grounded me. And it just made me feel so special and so honored to be invited to be a part of something like this. Yeah, so just to remind, I will post a link to my iBook below if you want to take a look. I'd be always interested to hear if you've ever photographed a birth and, you know, how you felt doing your first one, or if it's something you're still considering. And maybe I'm wrong about this type of photography here in the UK not being as popular. So if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. I'm always happy to learn new things. I hope you enjoy looking at these pictures and hearing about my experience. And, you know, if you did enjoy this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.